I'll enable it for like 5 minutes, just to see if
Okay.
that's enough time. And I'll start the clock now. So you are in favor of that ideology, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, why are
The
you in
original, not the
the original? What do you mean by the
yeah,
original?
Italian fascism
Okay, so let's
and maybe Francoist
let's use Italian word I probably can't say or else I get banned. Um
and Francoist.
you also support the Spanish dictator as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, because they basically fixed their countries, right? The
No.
way they were leading the country was prosperous, and they fixed the economy, they fixed the social issues. I would say they made they made the culture of the country traditional. They fixed the birth rates, and the country was running perfectly because the people who knew how to run a country had the power to do so without any questions from the populace, from the crowd, from the mob, basically.
All right. So, I am so sorry. Just knowing the history behind that, you are like wrong on almost every level, but let's just dissect the argument and explain to you why you're wrong on every level. Italy and Spain was not prosperous. They like literally weren't. Do you know how much freedom was lost during those time periods?
Why do you treat freedom like a positive currency?
I feel like that's an inherently like good thing. Do you not believe so?
No, I think freedom leads to hubris.
Okay, so you believe that freedom. Wait, what did you say again?
I said that freedom leads to hubris.
What does that mean?
It's like downfall, chaos, or whatever.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so basically you believe that it leads to like self arrogance and stuff like that, right?
Uh, Somewhat, yeah, maybe from partially, yeah, maybe. That's
Okay,
not what entirely what I mean, but
so if you truly
close
were
enough.
against freedom, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be here debating with me. You wouldn't be here, talking to me at all. Um,
How so? So what would I be doing?
well, you don't believe in the freedom of speech, first of all. That's an inherent part that you are
Yeah, yeah.
disregarding.
In an ideal, yes, as an ideal, yes, in a fascist country.
So you don't believe in freedom of speech.
Well, I know that it exists, but I don't think it should in a perfect country.
Okay, what? So what if I were to say that you don't have the right to speak to me right now? That would.
You have you have no power to enforce. I mean, you can ban me, but
Oh, so I don't have the
I
power to
wouldn't be
enforce
able.
that, but you do.
No, I don't.
But
I'm
but
saying that
but but
in
other
an
people have
ideal,
the power to enforce that, but not me or you.
I have no idea what exactly you're trying to say
I'm
right
trying
now.
to say that being anti-freedom means being inherently anti-everything.
Anti what? What do you mean anti everything?
Like you're against free speech, you're against freedom of movement, you're against being able to think freely, you're against being able to live, you're against being able to do. Freedom is a core value of life.
That's a strawman
That's a
or
strong.
slippery slope or whatever it's called. I think you're doing
How?
the slippery slope right now. Well, the only thing I said is that in an ideal country there wouldn't be freedom of speech because the speech would be controlled by the state.
So
And now you said I'm
I don't know. Do you want to
anti-life or
move to
whatever.
North Korea? Do you want to move to what?
Well, no, North Korea is communist
Well, yeah, but they do the same things that you're preaching for too. You know that.
in a bad way, yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, for example,
just
that's like saying, "Oh, you're pro self-defense. Then why don't you want somebody to kill you?" That's the type of thing you're trying to say right now.
all right.
A
The
gun can be
timer's
used for
ended.
good or bad things.
The timer's ended. I thank you for coming on, even though I highly like completely disagree with your views. I do thank you for coming on. I'll debate with someone else for the meantime. If you can come back up after like one or two debates if you want to.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'll bring you back to the audience, and I'm gonna bring over burgers are better. I feel like I already know what the topic's gonna be about.
Man, oh, I'm stoked to be here. Look at that.
You've been waiting for 4 minutes. That's why I picked you up.
Oh, really? That long? I didn't even notice. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Are you...
Pro-choice.
Okay, I'm pro-life. We can debate that.
Okay. All right. I'll start the timer.
Okay.
Why are you pro-life?
I'm pro-life because I think murder is wrong.
Okay. All unaliving?
All unaliving. I mean, any kind of it. I think it's all wrong.
Okay, so
I think it can be justified, but I don't think it's right.
so it can be justified, but you don't think it's right.
No, morally, I don't think it's okay.
So, like, for example, if a guy was like to rob your house at night and like threaten your life, you wouldn't think that self-defense would be morally right.
I think self-defense can be morally right, but do I think that ending their life over that is morally right? No. I think I could definitely defend myself in that situation while having to end their life.
What if they were like actively harming you?
If they were actively harming me, I would fight back as best I could. I mean, but the thing is, right, like, I could justify myself for wanting to unalive another person. Like, I could be in the right for that. But morally, it's wrong, and I just can never bring myself to do that to someone and in their life.
So, okay, so let's just assume that, you can justify it, right? We've agreed that you can technically justify it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what makes AB unjustified?
I believe it makes it unjustified because, I mean, people get abortions for different reasons, right? But the main reason is just because they don't want to carry the child, not because of the R, not because of anything else, right? So I think that if you make your own bed, you gotta lie in it. It's not justifiable to take a life just because you cannot deal with it per se. Like, that's murdered me. I don't understand how you can lie in a bed and not lay there. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe AB can be justified in, like, some cases?
No.
Not even in SA or Alabama?
No. Well,
Okay.
Alabama's a double standard. So with that, that's actually illegal. So you have to get an AB for that. That's not like, that's a double standard right there. That's not really AB at that point. That's mandatory. You have to do that because not only are you putting your life at risk, you're putting that child's life at risk.
Okay, okay. That's a whole new topic. So I'll focus on SA. What about in cases of SA?
SA, two wrongs don't make a right.
Okay, so you're saying that if a woman, like, she's violated, you're telling me that she should carry the result of that unwanted thing for 9 months.
I believe so, because listen to this, right? Two wrongs don't make a right. Obviously, condolences to the woman that ever gets that. She deserves therapy. She deserves all kind of stuff. But even if you do get an abortion, that's also very... Either way, the ending is going to be traumatic, whether you get an abortion or whether you go through with it. And I believe murder is wrong. So I believe you should give that child a chance at life, either, letting a family member have legal custody, foster care. I don't believe like you should just get rid of the child because of something bad happening to you. Obviously, like, that's completely terrible and awful, but that's not a justification for murder.
So I want to ask you, and we have like 48 seconds left, so I'll just ask this quickly. Do you understand that the implications of that can be taken as like really, really like screwed up?
What do you mean the implications of that? Like what I'm implying?
Yeah, what you're implying. You're basically implying that a woman is forced to carry something that she wasn't even consenting to in the first place.
I just told you, two wrongs don't make a right. And obviously it's traumatic on the woman. There should be legal charges and legal causes of that. But at the same time, you should not take a life just because something bad happened to you. That's not implying anything. That's just straight up telling you I don't believe in murder. That's not implying anything.
All right. You're up next.
Hello.
Hello. I feel like we've met before.
Oh no, we have.
Okay.
So I wanted to. Okay.
Do you believe the opposite?
Talk to you about your position on trans people. I wanted to see what your take is.
Okay, T people. All right, we can. So I believe that T people's identity are valid.
Can you like justify, like give me more, like specify what you mean by that?
I feel like they have the right to identify as a certain gender.
Okay, so when you say gender, do you mean male and female?
Yeah.
Or, okay, so you agree that gender means male or female?
Yeah, I do believe that. Yes.
So, would you agree that what you're talking about is an identity and not an actual gender? It's an identity. They're two different things.
No, gender is a form of identity.
Well, no, because gender is the same thing as the sex, or
No,
like
it's
you
not.
said, it's boy or girl. Well, no, because identity, you could say that you're something, but that doesn't mean you are something. If someone is born a girl and they want to be a guy, and they say that they're a guy, that doesn't mean that they're a guy. Biologically, they're not a guy.
Okay,
They don't have the same.
so let me use this argument using a different approach. I was born in America. I've lived in America my whole life, and I consider myself American. However, I technically, by genetics, I'm not an American. I come from Finland on my dad's side, and Lithuania and Poland on my mother's side. Does that make me Finnish?
That makes well. The thing is, that's completely different from gender.
Not
Race
really,
and gender.
because gender is a social
Race and-
construct identity. Same
Well,
thing with nationality.
The thing is, no, nationality is different because nationality, you can have two different race of parents, but you can be born in America and being a citizen of America, but also have genetics of whatever. That's completely different. Gender, there's only two genders.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I
And
don't feel like it's right to
you're
invalidate
given
one's gender
you're
identity.
right. And that's what I mean. It's different from gender. It's identity. If they want to be called male or female when they're whatever, that's fine. I'll respect that. But as far as going into like the bathroom as a male, going into a female bathroom because they identify as a female, I don't agree with that. Same with sports. Same with
Okay,
anything like that.
it inherently why? Like what
Inherently, why? Because just because they identify as a female doesn't make it right that they're still a male entering a female bathroom. That doesn't change anything. People can easily abuse that. Number one. Number two, it's just weird. I don't care if you think you're.
it's just weird. Okay.
I'll-
So that's your argument. It's just weird.
I mean, if you want me to clarify, it's just it's just because you identify as a female doesn't mean you are a female. Like I said, you are
So-
still biologically a male.
So let me tell you this. When it comes to T people, it isn't just identity either. It also revolves around changing their entire lifestyle and changing their entire behavior based on how they want. Oh my god, that is such a direct username. Welcome, Charlie K. I thought you were dead, Charlie. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Well,
I got distracted.
Your point doesn't mean really anything because it doesn't change what they are.
Okay.
They're either male or female. That doesn't change anything.
Okay, again,
It's
it
like-
isn't what I was trying to say is it isn't just identity, it's also lifestyle. It's
Put it
also
this way,
appearance.
right?
It's also like
I'm gonna put it as bland as possible. You take a cup, you put something in that cup. It's still a cup, but it has something in it, right? Or if you have that cup and you cut a piece of that cut off, it's still a cup. Same thing with gender. Just because like you're a male and you cut your, you think you're a female, you're not. You're still a male. You just cut your thing off.
well yeah, there's still more to it, obviously, like lifestyle changes,
I mean,
voice
And
changing,
that
stuff
goes
like that.
along. That goes along with your identity, but at the end of the day, you're still what you are when you're born. The rules shouldn't bend for you.
I'll bring him back up.
Hello?
Hello, welcome back.
Where were we?
So we were on the I was basically saying that being anti-freedom basically
Oh yeah,
means that
I remember.
yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Again, being against freedom of speech inherently means that you're against your own, like, you are against your own values. Because I could say right now, right, you saying that freedom of speech should not be followed, but you could be contradicting yourself because you're literally exercising your freedom of speech.
Yeah, I have freedom of speech. That doesn't mean I think that everybody should have it.
So who shouldn't have it?
Well, in an ideal state, the people who disagree with the state shouldn't have it. But
Okay,
there is no
so
state to
if they
speak
do,
of. There is no, hold on. There is no state to speak of. There is no state that I can oppose. So I don't think this applies here.
well, no, historically there have been dictatorships that worked like that, even ones that you inherently disagree with, like North Korea.
No, I'm saying that currently there is no state that I could be that could, in my beliefs, should take away my freedom of speech right now. Because so therefore,
But isn't that
of course,
doesn't that
I do have it.
contradict your statement though?
I know.
How does it not? You literally advocated for the removal of freedom of speech while also advocating for your freedom of speech to not be removed. So how is that not
Well,
contradictory?
I don't advocate for my freedom of speech to be
Oh,
removed.
so everyone
Uh,
else's freedom of speech is just out of the window.
okay. No, you misunderstand me. What I'm saying is that in an ideal utopian state, the state would take away the freedom of speech, but we don't live in such state. Therefore, there's no freedom of speech to remove.
What? I'm sorry. Okay. What? Like
What?
like actually what? Like
I have no idea how else to explain this. I'm sorry, man.
the
Okay, let me ask you this.
yeah.
How do you think I should act if I were to, according to you, live with principles that I believe in your opinion?
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, if you were truly adamant on your values of the removal of free speech, the removal of freedoms of anything really, you would be following what the government would be saying. What if the government told you that you can't talk bad about them, even though they're currently doing something that is against your views?
What government? I live in Poland.
You live in Poland. Um,
Yeah.
what if, for example, like
Okay, I'm saying that if the government follows the principles of Italian or Francoist fascism, it has the right to remove the people's freedom of speech. I'm not saying that every single government on earth should remove my freedom of speech. That's very stupid. I don't believe so. That's a straw man. Do you
but you
understand my
you
point?
you literally just
I'm
said that
gonna
you were
reiterate.
you literally advocated for the removal of freedom of speech for people that
Okay,
disagreed
I'm
with the
gonna
government.
reiterate myself. I believe that if a state that follows the principles of Italian or Francoist fascism exists, I believe that that state should have the right to remove certain people's freedom of speech, of certain speech. And that opinion doesn't mean that I shouldn't use the freedom of speech I have in a democracy.
Okay, the timer ended, but I will respond to that point. If that was if you're advocating for that, that would still be really bad because Spain during that time, there was mass gen of like
No,
yeah, there was.